Hello and welcome. This is Julie Silver Stitches here on FlossTube and on Instagram. Welcome. I am based out of Eastern Ontario, Canada, so just west of Ottawa, but farther out than the city proper. Anyways, so here we go. What are we going to do? We are going to talk about cross stitch, and Charlotte, of course, is going to get into everything because that's what she does. But today is Sunday, April 19th, 2026, and here we go. So in total, I stitched on 11 projects. So I was thinking that I wasn't going to get to that many this week, but I couldn't really decide what I wanted to work on for the last 2 days, so I worked on everything. But a primary focus a little bit this week was this one. This is out of the World of Cross Stitching magazine from 2020, July 2020. This is Positivity Hanging by Diane Machin, Machin. It says, see the value of a moment before it becomes a memory. Stitching this for a friend who may or may not be watching right now, so I will give her the timestamp of when she is able to start watching. I decided that I wanted to start kind of doing a thread a day on this project. Otherwise, it was never going to fully get completed because, who knows, Julie has squirrel ADHD. So there's that. But yes, I do want to get this done for the middle-ish of June. I don't know how I want to finish it yet, but maybe it will be in that hanging, but we'll see how it goes. Still have not picked up this yellow color yet, so as you can see, the A is not done yet. Still have not picked up, again, the yellow for this space, but I did end up finishing this E, the flower inside the E, and started on the border of the top. So all good things. One strand or multiple strands for this case a day, just so that it can continue to move forward even though I am missing some colors because I'm missing this yellow. And now I don't think I have this green anymore either. So we will have to figure that out when the time comes to stitch on it again. I might be running to my LNS tomorrow. Maybe. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. I don't know. Sometime before June, that's for sure. Okay, so 3 minutes and 2 seconds. So 3 minutes. Okay, so this is the next paper chart that I worked on. These were the only 2 paper charts that I ended up working on this week. This is Promise of Spring. It is called The Promise of Spring, but it is also called something else that I can't remember right now. American Robin and Tulips. It was covered by the price tag sticker. Okay, so I'm doing this on a 14 count light blue Aida. Here comes Simon if he wants to come join us. Who knows what that's going to be like, but we'll see how it goes. Not a lot of progress, but I did end up finishing this little stem here. No, that's a lie. I finished this lighter green part here. This is the whole thing so far. If I could put it in the frame, that would be great. There he is. There's the Simon. And I ended up finishing the lighter green part in here. And I started working on I'm going to call it the garden, or could be the garden. I don't know. I don't know what it is. Is it a garden? Is it a flower pot? What is this? What is this? Anyways, that's where I am. I think next time I am going to work on this one. Yeah, I'm on this one. This one. Because I already did that one. So I'm going to work on the one, the flower closest to the house. Oh, good grief. Anyways, next, I think, because those flowers are no joke. They are full of solid stitching, and if you're in the mood, then that's great. But if you're not, then it's a beast. But super fun. Didn't think it was going to come out that big, so if I ever do pick up the rest of the series, we're gonna have ginormous, because I'm gonna make them all on the same fabric count, and it's 14, so it's gonna be big. It's gonna be big. Hey? Yeah. And then there's the Skitters right behind us on the cat house behind us. Those are 2 of the 3 cats that I have, if you don't know. Welcome if you're new. It got really dark in here, so we're going to maybe do some kind of lighting adjustment with my shoulder that might have tendinitis in it. A little bit of light? No, not even worth it. And here comes Charlotte. But that helped a little bit. Maybe I have to do that secret hand wave that Stuart and Stitches does. Secret hand wave. Okay. Who knows? Okay, so let's move on to digital charts. So mostly all the digital charts this week I did were full coverage. So welcome to the full coverage 9-piece segment. I was so happy this week. Okay, so first up is a piece by Kayomi Harai. It is still available on the website of Heaven and Earth Design, and you can get it in a multitude of different formats. You can get it as a mini. You can get it as the mini beginner like I have. You can get it as the regular size. Okay, well, I think that's it. But I think you can also maybe get it max colors, but I don't think so. Anyway, so yes, I am talking about mini beginner seashell. Yes. Okay, so here we are. We went from 16,298 to 16,700. So I put 402 stitches in it because this week everything for my digital patterns had to end in a 0. I don't know, my brain is weird. So I'm going to keep going back and forth, I guess, to what I was planning on versus what I am planning on. The Stitch to 500 thing, as you can see, only 402, got clearly blown out of the water this week. So whatever, doesn't matter. Stitching is stitching. So here we go. For the whole thing. I will zoom it in so that we can actually see what is going on here. This is now at 66.01%. So that's exciting, 66%. And this is the full width. I just have it turned over a little bit, but this might not be a great holding way. Okay, so I worked on in here to get the kitten's stomach a little bit more filled in, and I worked over here a little bit, I think, but my primary thought and focus was I did not want to stitch all of the white at the end if I can help it. So I'm planning on probably just going up to here, but zooming all the way across and down, just so that I can get all of those white on white stitches out of the way, because I am not going to be happy if I have to go from the nice pretty blues all the way down to the white. No, that's not, no. I would rather, finish off on these yellows and tans and grays rather than whoosh. Maybe I'll end up stitching this part last so that I can finish the blues last. Who knows what's going to happen, but this is where we're at, 66.01%. Hooray, she's so pretty. She's so beautiful. Even though I did not stitch her eyes right, I was just wanting to get her eyes done because the actual lack of counting started up here somewhere in her eyes, and it's just followed all the way down, and I haven't figured it out, but I think I'm now on track for this. I haven't explained any of it, but all of these stitches on this, I feel like there's almost like a whole line that I haven't isn't charted, but I've been stitching anyway. I don't know. But she's beautiful. I love her. I started her Labor Day weekend, so September, first weekend of September in 2022? Yeah, 2022. Let's go with that until proven otherwise, because I think that's what it is. Either 2022 or 2023, but I think it's 2022. Okay. So this week, sorry about the nose scratch. This week, I ended up stitching on a lot of the pieces that I hadn't actually worked on yet this year. Not this one coming up, because I clearly have stitched on it via my tracking system, but I have not worked on it for a very long time. This is just scroll over, Julie. It's all the information's right there. Christmas Gnomes by Box and Fox on Etsy. I'm not sure if you can still get it, but I'm pretty sure you can. And I went from 2,436 stitches to 2,500 stitches. So this week was all about the zeros. If I didn't mention that already. I've already tried to film this once, but circumstances in the actual apartment made me have to stop and then restart, and I was very not focused, and as a whole, anyways. But did not finish his beard because I started working the 10 by 10 blocks going this way. So this is the whole thing so far. We are currently at 11.11%. And I focused in on these very excitingly bright white and 3765, that light blue. All very exciting. You might see a little fight going on here, or we might be friends. I'm not sure which, but here we go. Aww. So he starts out cleaning Skitters, and then Skitters has no time for this, and then, hey boys, what are we doing? Because Simon just wants to be everybody's friend, but see, this isn't going to go well, because Simon's going to grip onto his neck, and then there's going to be a thing. I can almost guarantee it. Yeah, see? There it starts. There it starts. And Skitters is only 4 years old. He's going to be 5 in December, but he's still trying to learn how to play fight, and so this is how Simon is teaching him, with these gradual, nice little paws. There's no actual... There's growling and hissing and whatever. There we go. And that's Charlotte, if you can hear any of that. She's, I guess, talking to James. Who knows, because she's in the other room, but... Oh, cats. Okay, so... Where was I? Next up is a chart by Heaven and Earth Design. It is something that I started with Lorna. I'm so glad you're feeling better, Lorna. If you don't know, go check her out. Go support her, because she needs all the love right now that she can get. She is a random stitcher out of Denmark, and life events over the last week have been... is what it is. You're doing great. Okay, I'm so glad you have settled into the new way of needing to have life. I don't know. This is Forever Friends, QS Forever Friends by Oleg Gavrilov. And, okay, so we went from QS Forever Friends. Good grief. QS, where are we? Oh, I only needed to put 100 stitches in to get to the 2,000 mark. So we are now at 2,000 stitches. And I worked in over, I started working, filling in the 10 by 10 grid again and seeing what I could do. So it was only 100 stitches. I did work down a little bit, I think. But yeah, 2,000 stitches, 3.14%. So that is shaping up nicely. This is the only start. Sorry, this is the only start that is on the right top right side. But I didn't want to start with all the light colors, so I started with all the darker colors. Anyways, that's what this is, and I might need to do a phone call because James is sleeping still, and she's probably going to try and call my phone, and my phone's on airplane, so hold please. Okay, so yes, needed to make a phone call because they would have just kept calling. And anyways, this is where we are with this one. So it is at 3.14%, and I'm stitching the 10 by 10, going down a little bit if I have to, grid at the top, going all the way across to see where I can get to with all of the different colors. That's where we are at with that one. So next one is, yes, I had to make the phone call, otherwise somebody would have been continuing to call, and James is sleeping still, so there's that. Okay, so next up, we haven't seen in a couple weeks. I only put 200 stitches in, but that would have made it go to 8,000 stitches. This is Pokemon Starters. It is by Floss and Cross. No, I don't know how you do that, Stuart. Anyways, Floss and Cross on Etsy. It is still there. It is Pattern Keeper compatible. That was Skitters. And it is now at 43.34. So that's fun too. 1.11, 11.11, 3.14. These are fun numbers, huh? Okay, so this is now from 42.26 to 43.34. So I'll show you the whole thing first, and then I'll zoom into where I was working. So I'm kind of working top half down to bottom half. So this is the top arc. We've got mostly all of the grass starters done. And then now I am working on this side because I got tired of working on that side. So now I'm working on all the fire starters. I decided that when I first started this, I didn't have a lot of the oranges and reds that were needed. So that's why I stopped doing this side and focused on this side. But now I have to play catch up on this side. So, okay. Filled in the rest of, oh no, I see now. You don't see it when you're just stitching. Okay, so Fuecoco was already done. To Pig, I finished his little tail, as you can see. That's his tail. I was somehow trying to figure out how come the yellow was on the bottom of Fuecoco's mouth, but anyways. Chimchar is done now, except for his little body and his tail. I got all those stitches filled in. Charmander is closer to getting finished. I just have these little stitches down here and the rest of his body, of course, but time will tell. I filled in a little bit of dark outlining for Cyndaquil. Look at me going with my guys today. This dude got some work done too. He is... Why can I only ever think of their second form? Not Raboot. Scorbunny. Oh, bananas. Scorbunny. Got a little bit work done on Scorbunny, his yellow in his nose. And then I started in on Torchic. Hooray! It's going so well. I'm so happy. I needed to put this one away, I think, for a little while to be able to see the value of when I was stitching it, because I was getting burnt out on it when I was working on it, but back in full swing. I might move over to the other side to finish Grookey. If that's, yeah, Grookey. His eye needs to be finished. Or I guess the rest of his face. Yeah, and then I'm gonna start working on the bottom half, because that's the halfway mark. So because I had the color at the time, I started working on I can see him. Anyways, the guy down here. the guy down there. That's fine. 43.34%. So not quite 50, but close enough. Close enough. Okay, so what's next? What's his name? I'm pretty sure I get hung up on it every single time, and he's right here. Because I think I already pointed out a couple weeks ago when I was working on it that this was his head, and I couldn't remember it either. Anyways, next up is also something that I hadn't worked on in a very long time. This is Heaven and Earth Designs. This is the regular sized Sad Fairy by Elena Lazareva. You can get her still on the Haid website. So this one also reached a very fun milestone. This one went from 7,800 stitches to 8,000 stitches. So again, another 200 stitches. So not a lot of stitch count, but for the progress report, for the milestone rating, yes, very exciting. So from 5,800 to 6,000. So I worked on a little bit of filling in over here on the left side. Got lost, so started down on the bottom, carrying the colors, but that tree is looking fantastic, and I'm so glad I'm done with the sunbeam. But because of a little bit of different counting errors that I had over here, it's all just sky. I'm just going to fill it in with whatever color is the majority of what comes next. But yes, that is at 3.17%. So you guys, even though this project has been around one of the longest, will see this continuing to grow. This is the first page. It's on 18 count, so it's going to be on the bigger size. It's 189,000 stitches, so it's not as if this is gonna. It's not like it's my quote unquote. This is my bedsheet project. Just because clearly I got tired of it. I didn't want to work on it. I didn't like the light colors. Surprise, surprise. Put it down for years. Picked it up again. Realized I actually really love this and have started to continue to work on it. So I'm going to fold it up so that it doesn't even look like it was before. But this is the only one that has this kind of fabric. So I know it's what it is every time. So yeah, there's been a lot of little projects that have good milestone stitching. It helped when I kind of did like the rearranging of the light, and then it kind of got brighter in here. That really hurts my shoulder. Stop doing that. Okay. Okay, so the next one. See, you haven't seen all these in a very long time because I haven't worked on some of these in a very long time at all this year, actually, for the most part of the rest of these projects. So the next one is from Artisy. It is Mini Snow Leopard. Again, oh, wait, where are we? Artisy. Okay, again, not a big stitch count because I didn't need a big stitch count to get to my next 1,000. Hold, please. So there's FlossTube nose, and then there's like, I don't know, allergy nose, completely different things. Okay, so, this I found out is actually by Marcel Langthrim, Langthim. It was a freebie chart a while ago, so I don't think it's there anymore, but, well, I know it's not there anymore, but, yeah, so 150 stitches to get me to 2,000, so this is the whole thing. This is the whole thing so far. So this is 7.08% from 6.55%. And I'm slowly... What am I doing? I don't even remember. I worked over here. I was picking 10 by 10. I was picking top left corner colors in the 10 by 10 block I was in and carrying them down, I think, throughout the year. I think is what I was doing. I don't know, 150 stitches. That's all. I was really looking. I've been looking for this one since January. Couldn't find it. I don't know where I found it, but I found it. And so now it's in my rotation again because I really like that. And I really want to see the snow leopard appear because why not, right? Why not all the cats? Why not? Okay, so the next one surprised me. Haven't gotten it out at all this year, but really enjoyed working on it last night. Ended up randomly putting 500 stitches into it because, well, that's what it needed to get to the next 1,000 mark. But this is Mini Sunflower Cottage by Donna Gelsinger. Again, sorry it's so dark in here. If I open the window, then it's going to be too bright. And then if it's... I give up. Anyways, this is on a Loops and Threads 14 count Aida, so it's very large. It is my... it is charted by Donna Gelsinger. I don't know if I said that. Not charted by. The artist is Donna Gelsinger. It's charted by Heaven and Earth Design. And what else? It's my cancer piece. It's the piece that I started when I was first diagnosed, when I didn't know left from right, where I knew I just wanted to stitch, but I didn't know what I wanted to stitch, and all the decisions were very hard to make, and so I just needed a distraction, and this was it with all of the block stitching. So, where are we at? This is the whole thing so far. This is now at 5,000 stitches, so that's exciting. And where I worked this time for my 500 was over here. Again, carrying the 10 by 10 block row. So none of this was here. This was here. This blue outline was here already, but I have now started filling in the beginning of that cloud. I am taking what Leanne from Small Town Stitches said about this piece, that once you get to the lighter colors or the whiter colors, it's definitely noticeable on where your stitches are going, and make sure you go in the stitch direction that you go for the first time. You need to do the whole time. So I've just decided to go all the way across. So 500 stitches between this little space in here, and a lot of, again, block stitching going this way down here. So, yeah. So I kind of stuck to the 10 by 10 rule, but not really. So we'll see how that goes. But again, falling in love with this piece for its own right, not just the fact that it's my cancer piece, but it's fun. Fun for now. It's good, even though I need to mostly just blindly block stitch. It's like, it's a good piece. It's a good piece. I want to see it progress past the blues and the flower, or past the blues and the clouds. Okay. Next one up that I haven't worked on absolutely at all this year either so far is The Wise and the Brave. I haven't actually, I guess, worked on this since the end of the year last year. Interesting. I don't know. I thought I did, but I guess not. It was at 1,601 stitches. I put in 399 to make it 2,000. So again, rounding it up to the closest 1,000. So now we're at 2,000 at 2.25%. Donna's piece, the Mini Sunflower Cottage, is now at 8.87% from 7.79. So that is also a milestone, going over the next percentage mark. Can I bring this all the way up here? Cool, man. Okay. So 399 stitches. I went from 1.80% to 2.25%. Okay, so here, oh geez. This is the whole thing. This is the full top page. 10 by 10 across. So that's exciting. And then I didn't want to move my what am I using here now? A Q-snap. I didn't really want to move my Q-snap, so I added the rest of the 500 stitches down here. But the next time I pick it up, it's going to go just all the way across. And then I'm just going to do this page by page, I think. Row by row, page by page. And then do the next row by row, page by page, just something different. I don't need to necessarily get all the way across right now. I just want to finish that page. Just whatever. This is the only one that I worked on that I did not get a round number to, but it's fine. It's fine. I started this project out this year at 91 stitches at 0.15%. This is Story Keep Tiki Beach by Amy Stewart. This is my last project of the day, and it is now at 261 stitches. I don't know where I come up with these numbers, but I am going across the top 0.42%. And this is where we're at. So not a lot to see, but making progress. I think I ended up going over by 6. So this is 18 count because it's smaller, but 2 threads. Everything is 2 threads. There's nothing that is 1 thread. I do not enjoy 1 thread at all. So 2 threads, full cross, everything's full cross, everything's 2 threads. Just the difference of fabric count, either 14, 16, 18, or 20, but there were no 20s today. So again, that's what this is. I started out the full block, and then I just continued on over, just filling out as far as I could go while traveling and carrying the thread. That's it. That's all. That's all my 11 projects. Thank you for hanging out with me. If you wanted to go now, I don't mind. Have a great rest of the week. But I'm going to continue on with current plans. I'm not going to show you where I am with the project because that makes me have to go away again and get distracted and go through all my bins, and James is sleeping because I need to figure out where I put. I'll tell you what the percentages are on them, but I'm just going to show you the screenshots of what they're going to look like, because in reality, who knows if we're going to get there. I did enjoy stitching on all of my projects this week. It kind of was some of these projects were pull from one of my fabric bins made of fabric. Let's work on this until it gets rounded up to the next 1,000 or 100 or whatever the closest what I wanted milestone to be. But now I'm going to go through next week maybe, because it is a little bit more of a regular week. This week was a little busy. Last week was a little busy. But this week I only have 1 appointment. So that's cool. So I'm still going to work on this one. I'm still going to probably work on this one as my 2 focus paper products, paper chart patterns. But I am going to then go through my list of my 29 digital charts that I'm focusing on and working on things that I haven't touched yet this year, just so that all of the charts that I actually want to get to will get at least a little bit of stitches on. So we're going to start at the top, just like always. Go down. Haven't worked on. Have worked on. Okay. Have not. Okay. So the first one up is Cookies and Cocoa. This is a Dream Art Cafe design by Stitches So Beautiful. It was one of their freebies over the December time period where they were giving away free patterns every day. Thank you, Valerie. And not a lot of stitches. Currently 317 stitches. So I'm probably just going to stitch until I round up to 500. It is on a 20 count piece of gridded Aida, and it's at 1.04%. For those of you who want to imagine what it might look like, absolutely almost nothing right now. Okay, so next up is Steampunk Portal. So Steampunk Portal is a Heaven and Earth Design 2025 style. I am at currently 6,001 stitches at 7.04%. So I don't know. I think I'm going to go along the top and start. No, because I'm doing it step by step down. Chances are I'm going to fill in that block that has that one random stitch that I marked off that is stitched in, but I don't know how it ended up there. Anyways, and then go from there. I don't know what, but the 001 situation is bothering me to no end. So I might just round it up to the 6,100 mark and call it a day. I don't know. We'll see. I feel like I need to show you something bright and fluffy so that my coloring can go back to bright. This was a mask that one of my cats. Oh, okay. This was a starting of a mask because this is where like the nose part would have been when I was trying to make my own masks. How fun would that have been? Anyways, did not happen. My sewing endeavors, even though I did seem to use my sewing machine, because I do have one of those. It was not conducive to me actually stitching. So I feel like I could possibly make my own project bags. But if this is anything, this is a show that no, you cannot. Sorry, that was just on the couch randomly. Okay, so back to this. So that one was a Heaven and Earth design. It was the 2025 Steampunk Portal from L&L Designs, which were Luann and the ladies that run the Sal every year. Luann and Liesel? Anyways, okay. There's not actually that many that I haven't stitched on yet this year now, just because I focused a lot. There's only 3. So the last one is Vintage Christmas. This is another one by Stitches So Beautiful. It is another one of their free charts over December 2025 when they put out the free charter day. It is currently at 100 stitches at 0.34%. So 0.34%. And I think I'm just going to work from the bottom up because I have the 100 stitches are in the bottom left wheel, but it's very cute and I really want it, but it's never going to get stitched on if I don't work on it, right? So those are the actual I want to pick up and stitches this week, projects this week, plus these 2, plus whatever else I get up to. I don't really know the actual ins and outs. I like what Crafty Gaming Jamie, is that her YouTube handle, did. She has a bucket, she has themes and stitch counts or not in the bucket. So stitch on books, stitch on sky, stitch to the closest corner, all of those that's what she did for the last episode of her FlossTube. But that's another good idea to try and get out of the monotonous stitch on this, stitch on that, stitch on this. It's kind of a game, but it's not a game. You have the option of stitching on what you want versus the wheel said I had to stitch on this. But Skitters, hey buddy, who's the baby? Hey, did you have a little bit of a spat with your brother a few minutes ago? You can come down. Come on, you want to see the people? Good boy. And because I have this right shoulder thing, here he is. Hey. You say hi. Hello. Oh, he's so handsome with the green eyes. Anyway, sorry about knocking the thing. Okay, so that's it for the stitching component. I'm going to go into a little bit of life again to update you on everything that happened from last week's video. Let me just recalibrate, clear my throat, and continue. Okay, so Thank you for staying. So on Monday, I can't believe this was just only not even a week ago yet. On Monday, I had a nerve conduction study done on my hands, because I was getting pins and needles in this triangle of my hand, so that's my left hand, and pins and needles in this triangle of my hand, of my right hand. So what is this? Where is it coming from? I don't remember if I told you the 4-limb story of December 2024, but I had from my knees to my toes and my elbows to my fingertips completely go numb on me one day for a couple hours, actually. And what was scary was I didn't know what caused it. This was before the diagnosis of cancer. And it was just, why? Anyway, so when I brought this up to my doctor in October of 2025, I was saying that I have pins and needles in my hands and they just come out of nowhere and I don't know what the situation is, and I have this circular space on my back. Also, no idea what is going on. I could be moving, I could be sitting, I could be doing whatever, and it doesn't matter. It just comes, and then I have to work it out like I would, waking up pins and needles of your hands. So, go for the nerve conduction study. Finally, it was my turn last week. So I have carpal tunnel in my left because I am left-handed. I do stitch with my left hand, continuous motion, continuous. I was also a typer in when I was sitting in front of a computer, that's where I would live, right? I would live in front of my computer typing all day long. And so now it's just scrolling on the phone and constant movements that are exactly the same, the repetitive motions of having my wrist and my hand in the same position. So a fix to that is a brace. I haven't gotten it yet, but a brace that I have to wear on my wrist while I sleep. And she wants me to also wear a brace that's not going to make my elbow bend while I sleep. What? So I sleep like this. This is how I sleep normally. All tucked in, all wrists bent and very, very neurospicy of myself. This is how most of us, I sleep like this, or some kind of crimping elbow situation. Anyway, on my stomach mostly, or my left side, and everything is sometimes always in a bent situation. Anyways, so she wants me to 4 months worth of having my arms stretched out. So when I fall asleep, I don't have the braces yet, or the wraps yet. I'm gonna probably get those this week, but and if not this week, then next weekend. But it's, what is that? Anyways, yeah, how are you supposed to do that? How are you supposed to fall asleep with your arms completely straight? Well, it's going to be taking in some adjustment. That's all I know. Okay, so then that's fine. Okay, Tuesday morning, I go for blood work. So that was Monday morning at 8 o'clock. There's a cat down there, and whoever it is making some kind of screeching noises on some plastic. Could be outside as well. I have no idea. The window's open. Okay, so that was Monday morning. Stayed awake till midnight because I had to go to work. Tuesday morning, went for blood work that my doctor prescribed to get done, as well as an ECG. Cool. All done. Perfect. Wonderful. Thursday morning, go for everything was normal. No, okay, I'll talk about the blood work in a minute. But, at the time, everything was normal. Everything was fine. Everything was doing great. Went for the ECG. Everything's fine. I don't know the results about the ECG yet because they take 5 days to come in. So I might get a call next week. Or I might just get this is what your heart's doing at my next appointment on the 27th. So who knows? But appointment for the social worker to try and get some form of financial relief from my working 2 days a week, taking care of James on ODSP, the whole he can't work, not supposed to work at least. It's becoming a financial strain on life because groceries, because rent, because everything, right? So she set us up on a program on hydro, so hopefully I'll have to check again today, or I guess on Monday, whether or not it has been processed or not. I think it's like 10 business days or something, but whatever. And so then that should be a little bit of a relief. And then I called the municipality that we live in, and the way to get on the subsidized rent program, it's called something else, but portable housing or something, I don't know. Anyways, we have to be on the municipality's housing list in order to be able to get the benefit of the portable housing situation. So that would be, we have this much money coming in per month, and then taking a fraction of that and using that to pay rent, and then the government would pay the rest of the rent, because he's maxed out on ODSP about how much money he can actually pay towards rent, which is stupid because, anyway, we're not going there today. But, and clearly me working 2 days a week isn't enough to cover anything. It's just to keep us a little bit above floating, just so that we're not completely drowning, right? So, and then all of the medical things that him and I both have, because I have picked up on my senses, spidey senses, and said something's not right. But with the random, I can't work a regular job. So this is the job that I'm working 2 days a week, 3 days a week, when time permits. And so that's that. And anyway, so I called them on Thursday and left a message, and they haven't gotten back to me yet, so we'll see how that goes. So probably sometime this week they'll give me a call and we'll get on the list, and then we can apply for the portable housing. I don't know how all that works. Anyways, and then go from there. My taxes are done. James's taxes are done, so that's cool. That's one thing to check off the adult checklist. Thank goodness. And so then the government benefits then can start getting processed, because then there's also in Canada right now for disability, there is the Canadian Disability Tax Credit, which we have never applied for because he's never applied for it. And then there's a new Canadian, like a federal disability credit, which he has also never done before because it just came out in June 2025 or July 2025. So I'm a little bit behind on the ball, but whatever. And yeah, so that's that. Ow. So that he just swiped me. Skitters. So that was Thursday morning, and then Thursday afternoon, I get a phone call from my doctor at 5:15 at night, random, saying, got your blood work back. Here's the things that I need you to start doing before we run the labs again in a couple months. So my good cholesterol is bad. My bad cholesterol is good. Is what it is. I am super low on vitamin D, so I'm going to need to start taking vitamin D supplements, which is fine. And then, yeah, my A1C, my glucose, yes, is borderline pre-diabetic. So, that's the scariest part. So these, even though they still have coffee and still have sugar in them, have way less sugar in them. And I have been, since Thursday, been consciously eating better, making myself actually make meals instead of pick up what's the most easiest thing to get. So more fruits, more veggies, more walking, more water, more all the things. So after this, wake up James, go to his parents' place for some trailer fixing thing. And then if it's still not raining, then go for a walk, I guess, because that's what I need to start doing. More of. But I figure if I cut down on the amount of Nesquik that I put in here, it's better. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how that goes. But overall, I am eating better. So hopefully this was just a scare tactic in my A1C. By the next time she checks it, will be better. So that was that. And then that was Thursday. So I was feeling going to bed that night. I was feeling a little like, it's a good day, but it's a bad day. But it's a good day, but it's a bad day. Like with the good news from the morning, but the bad news from the phone call. Because she doesn't usually, my doctor doesn't usually call unless there's something that she needs fixed right away or there's something right away. So that was a little like, anyway. And then I'll just living life Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Here we go. So next week coming up, I have an appointment on Thursday. My last appointment in that specific genre on Thursday. So we'll see how that goes. I'm not ready to let it go yet, but the program that I'm in says, okay, this is your last, your last session. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes. We're going to currently, I'm spinning. We're going to work on a plan going forwards, I think, on Thursday, so that my mental health can continue to be okay. And even though she has helped me gratefully, I feel like we just broke into everything, right? But anyways, it's what it is. And but because it's a government-run program, it only offers you 10 months of being in the program, so right. Anyways, is what it is. But I have far more tools and tactics and everything to go forward, even if I stop seeing her, which is okay. And I have a better base of who I am and my, my friend list, my in-person friends are very much in a better space than they were in July, and so anyways, it's fine. Everything's fine. Past that, I think that's all. I don't remember how much the first part of this video was, but I'm sorry if it's over an hour, but I feel like I'm coming up to the hour mark. So either way, thank you for sticking out with me. Thank you for hanging out with me. Thank you for subscribing. I know that there was a little bit of an uptick on the on my thingamajiggers, my subscriptions, so thank you. And I will see everybody later. Sparkle and shine. Bye, everybody. Okay, back again. On the FlossTubes that I've watched this week, I know that it's been happening often anyway, but I noticed that a lot more of us are using this frame right here to be able to talk openly about our lives, about what's going on, what's not going on, what's working for us, what's not working for us, the struggles that we're having, the family medical stuff that's going on. A lot of us are using this frame right here, this portal right here, and I think that's great, because if we don't talk about it, then it's just another hidden thing, right? So thank you again for being here. I know this was just a quick sub whatever add on to say thank you, but thank you for sharing everything that you guys do, regardless of whether it's just stitching or it's stitching plus a little bit of life update, or stitching plus, oh, I have a surgery next week, I'm really worried about it, but I'm not going to get into details. You don't need details. Just show us or share with us whatever you want. Of course, it's up to you. It's your channel. You can do whatever you want. But thank you. Thank you for being real humans, I guess, and not just this facade of this is A and this is this and this is this and this is this and okay, bye. You know, like, we're all real humans. Anyway, bye from this real human. Sparkle and shine.